Ah yes, the Snapmaker U1. I nearly backed this on Kickstarter, and then I saw that 6 month wait, and I bought the Bambu Lab H2C instead. After reading the comments from U1 owners on my last video, I had to know for myself. So I decided to buy one, full retail price, no reviewer sample here. This is exactly what you get for your money. I'm already deep into the bamboo ecosystem, but in the UK, the U1 sits in a weird spot. It's only about £70 more than buying a Bambu Lab P2S with an AMS. That's not a different tier of machine, that's a direct choice. Is that extra £70 buying you a better experience or just a headache? Once unpacked, first thing you'll notice, this isn't a plug and play machine. Setup is more involved and the calibration is also more hands-on. If you like tinkering, you'll be fine. Once assembled, it looks decent, but once it's actually placed on your desk and you start poking around, things feel, well, just a bit off. To be blunt, it doesn't feel like a finished consumer product. It feels like a machine that's just about made the shipping deadline. Plastics feel flimsy, and there's quite a lot of wobble in the chassis. And then there's the software. The app? Nah, pretty much useless, don't bother with it. The Snapmaker version of Orca Slicer does exactly what you'd expect, it's fine. But the general ecosystem just feels fragmented. Now, we have to talk about the noise. During the initial setup, it was deafening. To be fair, a firmware update did settle it down significantly, but even quiet for the U1 is loud. My old X1C is noisy, and this makes more of a racket than that does. Compared to the H2C, it's not even a contest. The H2C is quiet. This one sounds like it's preparing for takeoff. I'm already looking into fan upgrade mods, so stay tuned for that. But once it's on the desk, the unfinished vibe kicks in. Look at this door, it's more like an afterthought because the glass stops at where the print bed is, so you can't actually see the print bed from the front. Why? You're flying blind on the most important part of the print. Yes, you can look in from the top, but that's beside the point. You've a glass door on the front, but yet you can't see the bed through it. And then, no lid. If you want to keep dust out of those rails, you'll have to buy it separately. When a Century Carbon 2 includes a lid at a fraction of the price of this machine, charging extra here just feels like a slap in the face. But here's the frustrating part. It prints brilliantly, it's fast, it's clean, and the multicolour transitions are solid. If you only care about the plastic comes off the bed, then you're going to love this machine. But the machine itself just feels like a high-end prototype that was released a little bit too early. Your first impressions, I can't fold that, I'll take it off the tray to have a better look. This test print comes built into the machine, along with 4 rolls of filament included in the box, which is a nice touch, and the results look really good, really clean. I've just under 100 hours of print time now on this U1, and other than the issues mentioned above, it's just worked, not a problem. Through a series of print tests for a few. One of them is going to get hammered for the next month. Which one do you think survives? Drop me a comment below and let me know if you'd like to see me sort of fan mod for this machine. Until the next one, bye for now.